Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. The Bachelor Clayton Echard paternity scandal has reached its fever pitch as Chase J. Jones may have been revealed late last night. This is a breaking news story we're going to get into. It is the absolute most wild aspect of this entire case, and now we have evidence linking the Chase J. Jones to a very specific account, and I'm going to get into all of that right now. If you haven't followed this story, I'm going to have to catch everybody up right now. It is an early aspect of the Clayton Echard paternity scandal that has kind of stayed on the back burner as evidence has not come in to really put a nail in the coffin to who Chase J. Jones is. It was obvious to a lot of people that the opinion was Chase J. Jones was Jane Doe. We've even had people look at names of why would they choose Chase J. Jones and which of those names appear in the family tree and all these crazy, crazy angles. But the truth smacked us in the face last night, and we have a member of the Justice for Clayton Reddit and Twitter community to thank. They absolutely nailed it, and I'm going to share all of that with you guys right now. Do me a favor and follow along if you haven't already. I mean, we've got an absolute wild ride ahead. We've got, I think, 10 days left, maybe even less before the trial. Today's May 31st. We're going to be going live on June 10th, the morning of, in Maricopa County, to share this absolutely insane trial. And this piece of evidence I'm about to share with you may be the espresso at the end of a nice dinner. This may be the nail in the coffin moment, the final word of an incredible act of deception. Let's get into it right now. So right here on October 16th was the first time we heard of Chase J. Jones. I got an email from Chase J. Jones, the Clayton Echard N-word fiasco, a breakdown. Now, in this email, I immediately was suspect because this canceling of Clayton came at the same time, of course, that there was a lot of other shenanigans going on, a all-out smear campaign against Clayton. But did he say the N-word? Is there a video of him doing some crazy thing where people go, oh my gosh, you're going to, here's one more reason why he's not going to, no. Let's read it. I hope this email finds you well. It did. I wanted to bring to your attention some key messages about the issue of racial insensitivity to the public eye, highlighted by a recent incident involving Clayton Echard, star of season 26 of The Bachelor. Now, if this was an actual story by a journalist, namely a black journalist, it may have legs. It may have legs. But if it's a story from a white woman of privilege trying to use what some will say, I think most can agree, is one of the greatest wedges and stains in our country's history in a current sort of political and, cultural wedge, which is inequality and, all the racial divide and things like that. If this is someone cosplaying as black, let me tell you this right now. It is a whole new, is it worse? Is it better? Is it worse than faking cancer? It's different, but boy, is it not good. Number one, prominent figures dancing to tracks with racially offensive language raises crucial questions about racial insensitivity in the digital age. 2, Echard's video featuring him dancing to a song that includes the N-word indicates a lack of awareness and understanding of the deep racial insensitivity and pain it caused. 3, the use of the N-word by white people, intentionally or not, is racially insensitive and wrong as it originated from the darkest chapters of the transatlantic slave trade. Ooh, somebody went to Wikipedia. 4, Echard's video promotes a nonchalant attitude towards the N-word, which encourages others to think it is harmless and devoid of racial charge. For more information on the issue, please refer to the press release below. And then they send a press release, which again, we don't even need to get into, but I think it's fair to say that if someone's going to be using those very heavy topics to try to mess with somebody's livelihood, at least own up to it. And if you're a journalist, you almost never want to be anonymous. Even there was an anonymous journalist that wrote for one of the news rags that covered Taylor Swift, and they wanted to remain anonymous because they were going to get death threats from Taylor Swift's crazy fans. You can remain anonymous, but still be verified by somebody. This ain't no Planned Parenthood Mission Viejo where you just show up with your library card and they just start passing out. No, this isn't how it works. Not that they do that there. But one could dream. So that's not how it works here. Now, my initial response to this was, and thanks to fine journalists like Reality Steve at the time, the only other person covering this case, I knew to take a playbook from Reality Steve, take a play from Reality Steve, and ask Chase J. Jones to get on the phone with me. Let's verify your identity. Because if I can get on the phone with Chase J. Jones, I keep my license right in here. I got this nice little thing here. If I can get on the phone with Chase J. Jones and all he has to do is go, "Hey, Dave, that's me right there. There it is," and, show me something else. I don't need to screen grab it or hold on to it. I go, "Oh, sounds like he's a real person," because that's important, because that's the last thing we have here is credibility, and you have to be a real person, because if you're not, then what's the agenda? Faking somebody's name to do something like this? So it goes on and on. By Chase J. Jones from The Bachelor Boy, and it's basically everything we said. Disturbing video, ignorance and racial expletives, the issue at hand. So you might say, well, yeah, but how do we know that Chase J. Jones wants to cancel Clayton? How do we know? Well, I think we can see right here. If we are to promote justice and equality, we cannot allow the N-word to be casually used for or included in content by white individuals. Clayton Echard must take accountability and accept the consequences of his decision to post this video, and we all must strive to be more conscious and respectful, to recognize the power of our words, understanding their historical, and to act responsibly. So there it is. I mean, clear case of defamation. Trying to get him, he needs to be called out by the media for it and his viewership. His video promotes a nonchalant attitude, which in turn encourages others to think it is harmless and devoid of racial charge. So this is somebody who wants to cancel somebody, and we never found out who Chase J. Jones was until today. Now, as far as the timeline goes, we also need to know that Chase J. Jones had 2 different email addresses. They joined my Patreon on, let's see here, the date of October 19th, 3 days after joining, 3 days after this email. So they joined the Patreon 3 days after this email, and I think we have a whole list of comparisons to Jane Doe. Jane Doe posted to Reddit with a link to her first Medium blog, a second Medium blog, repeated use of the Medium site. Chase J. Jones posts about Clayton dancing to a rap song on Medium. Jane Doe posts a sonogram ultrasound in her Dropbox on October 10th and put a second belly video in the Dropbox on October 10th. Dave Neal asked for help with Photoshop on Facebook for the ultrasound belly video on October 11th. Now, this timeline's important here. The flock found the YouTube video she used on October 11th. It was removed October 12th in the morning. Jane Doe tells Dave Neal on October 12th that wasn't her sonogram. Jane Doe uses the word demonstrably in a cease and desist to Dave Neal. Chase J. Jones uses the word demonstrably on Medium. Jane Doe sends a DM accusing a Reddit user of being Greg, uses shush, SHH, shush. Chase J. Jones uses the phrase shush in a bio. Chase J. Jones joined YouTube October 11th. Chase J. Jones sends a message in a press release to Dave Neal October 12th. Chase J. Jones joins Dave Neal's Patreon October 19th. And Chase J. Jones only posts about Clayton Echard dancing to a rap song. And we know Chase J. Jones is cosplaying as a black person because they say in their bio that they are a Howard student. So presumably from the historical black university. The same one I believe P. Diddy went to, which I found out this week from a bombshell Rolling Stones interview, but I digress. So I, of course, email, I go ahead and email Patreon to say, hey, can you guys help me out? We've got this person pretending to be somebody else here in plain sight, and they're in the Patreon. They're in the casita. Can you help me out? That's what I asked them to do. They say, sorry for, reaching back. You're afraid for your safety or a loved one. You should contact local authorities. I understand all that. But all I wanted was, give me the gosh dang information of who's behind this account. Isn't it fair as a content creator that I know who's harassing me? Isn't that fair? That I should know that? If someone's faking being somebody else? Like, I'm a man. I'm a human. And I stand by what I say. I don't go on to fake accounts and pretend to be other people. I don't do that because I believe in what I say. I stand by it, unlike Chase J. Jones. So they say, well, we can't help you unless there's really a crime and you were going to need a subpoena. So I say, cool. So then when I get sued by Jane Doe, my lawyer and I get a subpoena to Patreon, and they say there are no records of Chase J. Jones. And at that point, we know that is because not that Chase J. Jones never existed because it's timestamped in my Gmail on October 19th, but that Chase J. Jones changed their email to somebody else. We had Good Samaritans try to help us find out who Chase J. Jones was, but because you guys have been so loyal, we've had 3,000 people in the Patreon, it's nearly impossible to know which one is Chase J. Jones without, I guess, doxing everybody else. And it wouldn't be doxing. I would do it privately, but I would certainly lose business because there would be people that are like, oh, I signed up for my teacher's account. I don't want to be, exposed. So I understand why people wouldn't want to be a part of that. So we honored people's privacy and never tried to find Chase J. Jones that way. And Chase J. Jones never responds to the subpoena. Chase J. Jones does respond to my lawyer and says, I'm going to try to quash this motion to subpoena Chase J. Jones. And Chase J. Jones then files this whole motion to quash, spends hours putting it together. It gets rejected. They redo it. And the whole time my lawyer keeps saying, hey, at any point, if you don't mind, we could just get you on a FaceTime call and find out your identity. If Chase J. Jones ended up being a guy named Lamar based in Mississippi, I wasn't going to out Lamar. We just needed to know that a real person was behind Chase J. Jones. That's all we needed to know. Not to shame them. If someone really felt like it was wrong what Clayton did, that's their prerogative, and they can write whatever press release they want about that. But if we believe it's a white person doing it for the wrong reasons, well, that's a whole different story. So that's where it stands. So I made this post last night on the subreddit. I just published on today's Rush Hour podcast. And by the way, you can click on that right here. It'll take you to all the different versions of the podcast, whether it's Spotify, Stitcher, iCloud, whatever it is, right? Well, here it is. It's today's morning episode. Trump makes history and bombshell discovery made in the Chase J. Jones identity. So there it is. You can go listen to the full thing. And let me tell you something right now. I share information in this podcast regarding other aspects of the TEDx talk being wrong and other things. I drop it in there. I drip it like morphine. So go run, don't walk to the podcast and go check that out. So let's get into it. How was the identity of Chase J. Jones cracked? Well, folks, I'm here to tell you this is as brazen as a Fiverr logo. And apologies that it took 12 minutes to get to this point, but we can't just drop this hammer on you without a little bit of foreplay, folks. We need to, tickle the nutsack here of this whole story, right? To put it politely. So I'm going to play for you a 22-second video, which was sent to me. The way Chase J. Jones was cracked wide open was their username on YouTube, which is owned by Google, which is one of our employers, was used to do the whole forgot email thing. So let's say you forgot your email. Well, here's Chase J. Jones right here. If you were to forget the email, and of course they posted a video of Clayton dancing, it's their only upload. And you know what's so funny too is like Clayton dancing is the one thing he's done for his mental health to free himself from the shackles of his past, to become a better version of himself, to really be authentic. So here he is, and it's so interesting that in his moment of being brave and learning how to dance, people were criticizing him. He's being a jacked human. Save some muscles for the rest of us. Either the quads on this guy. Whoa, easy there, puppy. You don't slap the glutes without a trigger warning. So he's enjoying his life, and she can't have it. She can't have it. She can't have this, I'm going to thrive regardless of any attempts you make at me. And in October, maybe she thought this would fly. So when she's going to accuse me of being crazy, being in a cult, making videos of me once a day, well, how about these videos we're making are helping others crack the case? I can't take credit for what you're about to see. I can't take credit for this. All I can tell you is we have some rock star, smart women in the audience that are so ridiculously good at their detective work. So here's what they do. I'm giddy. Here's what they do. They take Chase J. Jones right here, the username, Chase Jones-WT6HM, and they apply that right into, and again, it's the quality's a little low here, but they apply it into email or phone, and then they hit the forgot email, okay? So watch what happens when they do that. They hit forgot email, and then it pops up this, where you can then put your email or your phone number. It's like a different way to authenticate. So, all right, you forgot this. What's that? So now they say, well, if we can find out which phone number is attached to Chase J. Jones, it'll then tie whoever created the account. And here it is. Now, I've blurred out this right now. I'm blurring out the phone number so you can't see it. But that phone number is there. It is the phone number of Jane Doe, which has been authenticated. I believe the phone number is like, I think the billing address goes to her mother in part because her mom probably pays for her bills, but it appears to be the number that she uses on her letterhead and everything. So they type in her number to Chase J. Jones username. And then they also need a first name, last name optional, but they need a first name. So you know what they do? They type in Chase. Let's put in Chase. By the way, Chase is a great name. I hate that it's been hijacked in this cause. It's my sister's name. I love the name Chase. Beautiful name. Real people named Chase is a beautiful name. When you use it for fake reasons, it's a different story. So now, the next thing that could happen is one of two things. One of two things can happen next. If that's the wrong phone number, or if this is the wrong first name, this happens. No account found. And I know this because I tried to do this. I tried to put in my own phone number and say, well, let's just see what it looks like. We need to know what it looks like if it's the wrong account number. No account found. There's no Google account with the info you provided. Now, folks, foreplay's over. We are in hardcore evidence arrival mode right now. When you hit next, it says get a verification code. Google will send a verification code, and then it says the phone number right there. And folks, we hit the next button. Boom. A text message with a 6-digit verification code was just sent to that phone number, which is, can you believe it? Look, Jane Doe. Oh my. Do you understand what this means? Do you guys, does anybody know how crazy this is right now? So this is the same person who has threatened self-harm on me. This is the same person putting blogs out with their lawyers' consent saying, I'm the one who's being treated this way. Everybody's got it wrong. It's a crazy cult. And you know what that crazy cult did? What, are you going to use this in your case against me? As Dave's a crazy person. He gets blown away by evidence. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Well, you know what? Let me tell you this right now. Let me put the light on me. Let me tell you this right now. Got my nice light here. Get a nice dramatic lighting right there. You can't run from the truth. It has a way of catching up to you. And that's a message for you, Chase J. Jones. And the phone number attached to your account, Jane Doe. We're going to have a pretty crazy day on Patreon. Patreon.com/Dave Neal. Head over there right now if you want to chat about this. We just finished recording and breaking news just happened. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news just happened as we were finishing recording of the Chase J. Jones story. You'll be happy if you stuck around to the end. You're not going to believe what just happened right here. So you're still watching the same program we just had. I'm going to tack this on to the end. Just FYI, this was sent at 2:09 this morning. I just got it. She removed her phone number from the account sometime between 10:13 p.m. and 11:01 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So we already know this, is in my Patreon. And in the Patreon chat, I exposed this at midnight last night, which would have been 9 p.m. West Coast time. So clearly she gets a notification that Chase J. Jones is trying to change the password, so she knows it's lined up. She probably dookies herself because she's realizing it's all coming to an end right now as far as the case of who Chase J. Jones is. And within half an hour of her figuring that out, maybe she finished watching Handmaid's Tale or whatever the hell, Bridgerton season, whatever. So she finishes doing that. She's watching Yukon Gold Rush or whatever, one of these shows. And then she's, puts the burrito down. She's got to finish clipping the nails of her favorite horse that she rescued from a kill shelter. And then finally she changes it and she removes her phone number from that account. Well, we smoked the rabbit out of the hole, and the story of Chase J. Jones can officially be put to rest. Folks, what a wild time to be alive. We'll be back with more content right after this.